Hello friends, welcome you all to MOOC on Institutional Assessment. This is the last unit under this course. In the first unit, we discussed about the institutional review process and the requirement of review data, discussed concerning management aspects, academic process and human resources in consecutive units. As it is essential to review periodically the institute's performance and preparedness in regard to quality of education, we learnt about quality audit and institute benchmarking, which certainly demands autonomous status of the institute. With the understanding of higher educational system and institutional review process, we have to prepare our institute. This unit is about that, titled Unit 8 Institute Review. Under this, 2 videos are there and the unit learning outcome is, after attending these 2 video sessions and consulting related study materials, learners will be able to prepare the institute for external review. For that, one must be able to identify the requirements and criteria for institute review, must also be able to prepare action taken report on institute review and also be able to analyze case studies on institute review for clear understanding of the process. We realized that institute autonomy is the instrument for promoting academic excellence. We also realized that the higher educational institutes need to undergo separately for institutional accreditation by NAAC and also programmatic accreditation by NBA. But in each of the cases, institute has to be prepared for external review process. Again, review may be focused on a single issue or may be a comprehensive review of all aspects like planning and development, student admission, infrastructural support, faculty and staff members, administration, budget and finance, students placement, higher study, social contribution, environmental issues and sustainability, values and professional ethics and continuous improvement in all respect. External reviews support the institute and department to review and assess their work periodically and help to plan for the near as well as long term future within the context of staffing and budgetary realities. For that, it needs first scheduling and preparing for the review, then outside reviewers to be identified, the self-study report, next the visit and finally the follow-up. Institutional review is a 3-stage process. In stage 1, initiating a review, criteria for institute review to be decided based on 5 factors. Number 1, significance of the issue considered for review. Number 2, who are the investigators? Because verification of their qualification, their experience, training, etc. to be required. Then third is the challenge. What is the challenge? Whether it needs innovation in current approaches or practices, review for finding that. Then fourth one is what should be the approach? Are the overall strategy, methodology appropriate to accomplish the specific issue, any alternative strategies, best practices and benchmarks for success presented, review to identify the approach. Then the fifth one is environment, that is the institutional support, equipment and other resources, is it adequate? Review to check and find if any gap is there. Successful review depends greatly on the clarity of purpose and how lucidly it is communicated to the reviewers in advance. An example is included in the related e-content. For an institute offering undergraduate program, review is, say, regarding student protection and awareness. The institute aims to create a safe, welcoming and inclusive environment that supports its mission and the learning growth and well-being of its students. The institute has clear and informative student enrollment agreements, verifying student awareness of relevant policies, support services, payment requirements, as well as refund policies, financial assistance and transcript protection. The institute decided to have internal review extended with an external review in this regard. The head of the institute initiated the process, specified the terms of reference for the review. The internal review committee is constituted by the dean of the institute. The committee need to lay down a series of specific criteria that the institute must comply with. Now, in this case, what should be the criteria for assessing student protection and awareness? Suggested list of criteria is included in the e-content. Please go through it and modify if needed for your institution with justification. Now, what should be the next action? Once the criteria are decided, internal review team has to prepare the self-evaluation report. They are supposed to help the external review team in evaluating each specific quality criterion. The work of the external review team is first to study the self-evaluation report drawn up by the self-evaluation committee and consult the evidences either received from the internal team or got from any other sources like internet, data storage provided to them, etc. Then the external review team plan the site visit to the institute, and finally, the final report to be drawn up by the external review team. The program review process concludes with an action plan, which is comprised of recommendations based on the internal team and external reviews reports, proposed actions by the responding unit with input from the faculty and a timeline for completing those actions. A sample of action report is presented in the e-content, where the case is about an institute offering the undergraduate 5 programs and 2 postgraduate programs. The institute realized that involving students into real life projects and real teamwork environment is of great importance in engineering education, but this is sometimes ignored in actual academic environments. So, the review is focused on this single issue. Projects for thesis or dissertation, particularly at the postgraduate level, should seek industry collaboration. Final report of the external review team is prepared with interpretation of all evidences, consideration of issues raised in the self-study report, and made appropriate recommendations for the institute. It should be noted that progress towards accomplishing the action plan should be reviewed regularly. An interim status report to check the steps taken to implement the action plan is always necessary. We are at the end of this video. In the next video, we will discuss how to analyze institute review process in engineering or higher educational institutes. Till then, goodbye and thank you.